Now on Coast TV News.
Confusion on the water this fishing season. Anglers could face tougher limits due to federal delays.
Bollards construction down to the final stretch. Why some in Rehoboth say the project isn't worth the final product.
And a look at Ocean City's 35th Springfest, the festivities and vendors that brought people in from all over.
And we're expecting another mild day for tomorrow, but a bit of rain may come our way this weekend.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
New fishing rules for 2026 are causing confusion in Delaware and Maryland. Good evening. I'm Christina DeRobertis.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight with state and federal fishing regulations not quite matching up.
Yeah, it's for black sea bass and summer flounder in Delaware and Maryland. So follow me here. For black sea bass, Delaware and Maryland rules set the season from May 1st until December 31st. It's a daily limit of 15 fish per angler and a 12.5-inch minimum size. But in federal waters, the season is shorter. It's from May 15th until September 30th, a 5-fish daily limit and a 15-inch minimum size. For summer flounder, it's similar. The regulations are not matching up. Now, state leaders say the delays at the federal level are to blame here, and local charter businesses say it's going to hurt them during peak season.
It's also putting us at a disadvantage because people have already started calling us, wanting refunds, wanting to know when the season's going to get straightened out, and I don't blame them.
So Maryland DNR says the mismatch is due to delays in NOAA's recreational measures, setting process framework, and Bunting says they have tried to reach out to NOAA but have not been successful.
Maryland leaders are pushing federal officials to fix the issue. They've sent letters asking for a quick solution. Meanwhile, Delaware moving ahead with its own rules. Denrex says the black sea bass season, that will start on May 1st. If you have visited the Rehoboth Boardwalk, chances are you've noticed the construction around these metal posts. They're called bollards, and they are meant to stop any cars from driving onto the boardwalk. Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is live in Rehoboth Beach. Brandon, the $1.1 million safety project does not have the full support of everybody in the city.
Charlie, all 35 bollards here near the boardwalk are already placed. You can see some of them right over that bush there. And the final work that is being done here near the boardwalk are replacing these old bricks and putting down fresh bricks before the final stage is being completed near the bathrooms on Rehoboth Avenue. That's where 2 swing gates will go, as well as 32 other bollards. Some people we spoke to here in the city like the safety features, but are not big fans of the construction happening during the spring season.
I thought it was a good idea so nobody comes through, and I think it'd be better for the boardwalk actually, once they get it done.
Some changes are good, and then other things I just would leave them alone.
The city says the goal for all of this work to be completed near the boardwalk and near the bathrooms are before May 15th. Live in Rehoboth Beach, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
And this leads us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know what's the biggest inconvenience from the Rehoboth Beach bollard construction right now.
You're looking at the results. Looks like 11% each say the bus stop changes or the ADA access limits. 36% worried about walking detours. 42% most people say appearance.
And if you haven't voted yet, it's really easy to do. Go to coasttv.com or use our mobile app. Now let's go ahead and take a live look into Laurel right now. Check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams.
Well, we had a nice mild day for today. Now, it wasn't a record setter, but it was warm nonetheless. I mean, it was warmer than usual, and it felt every bit of relief for today. Now, we're holding right now in Rehoboth Beach, holding it at about 59 degrees. Folks on the boardwalk right now kind of enjoying the sunshine, and we're going to have an abundance of sunshine till the sun actually goes down. We'll settle into the lower 60s as the temperatures begin to drop along with the sun. As far as our high for today is concerned, we got up to 79 for the high today in Georgetown, 78 for the high in Salisbury, 64 for the high in Ocean City, 77 in Cambridge. Now, compare that to our norm. We're about 10 degrees above the norm for today, far away from this record of 92, which was set in 1985. 71 degrees right now in Milton. We're at 73 in Georgetown. We're holding at 80 in Seaford right now and 79 in Laurel. Now, coming up, we're going to be talking about the possibility of rain going into your weekend.
All right. Thanks, Paul. Well, the 35th Springfest in Ocean City kicked off this morning. People from all over the coast heading to OC for some live music, some crafts, and more. Coast TV reporter Drew Bellinger joins us live there in Ocean City. Drew, the town says there are hundreds of vendors, hundreds of musicians as well.
Christina, it's been a beautiful day for day one of Springfest here at the Ocean City Inlet. Let me show you a little bit about what the event has to offer. So if you look behind me, you'll see the cotton candy tent. Now, you can get pickles with that cotton candy, but behind there's big tents. They go pretty far back, and there's loads of businesses that have been there selling all of their kind of items all day, clothes, jewelry, things to that nature. But if you come down here, you'll see all of these artwork boxes. None of these were really filled up this morning, so people kind of throughout the day have been chipping away and filling in, making their own kind of mark. On your screen now, you'll see some more of the street art and other things that people have been able to sit back and watch. Barbecue food vendors prepared some top round roast, and others served up some smaller snacks like these jams and pretzels. People we spoke to say this was not their first time coming to Springfest, and it certainly won't be their last.
Just a diversity of every, kind of knick-knack, the people, listen to some good music, We come here just about every year.
Live music like you can definitely see and hear behind me will continue until Sunday this weekend, running from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. Live in Ocean City, Drew Bellinger, Coast TV News.
And it looks like Drew made a friend there at the end. Governor Wes Moore has announced $19 million to grow your own educator grants. This is going to help more than 620 school staff across Maryland become licensed teachers. The program creates debt-free pathways for paraprofessionals and support staff while they continue to work. With major investments in districts like Montgomery County and Eastern Shore, the initiative aims to reduce teacher shortages, strengthen diversity, and build a pipeline of educators rooted in their own communities.
Tomorrow in Del Mar, a community event honoring a fallen hero returns. Organizers say the He Cook Fest celebrates the life and legacy of Corporal Keith He Cook while also supporting first responders and the community. The event will take place at the Kylan Barn Amphitheater, bringing together live music, local vendors, food, and some family-friendly activities, and that festival kicks off tomorrow at 5 p.m. And as the war with Iran continues, upheaval within the Pentagon. The Navy Secretary is out after seemingly growing tensions between him and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
And an intensifying maritime standoff between the U.S. and the Iranians, leaving the Strait of Hormuz effectively closed as President Trump says he doesn't feel any pressure on time when it comes to talks on peace with Iran. NBC's Monica Alba shows us the latest on the Middle East conflict and the ceasefire talks at the White House.
With a precarious ceasefire holding, President Trump ramping up the rhetoric, ordering the Navy to, quote, shoot and kill any boat, even small ones, dropping mines in the Strait of Hormuz, adding that U.S. minesweepers are clearing the critical waterway. The order comes a day after the Iranian Revolutionary Guards attacked 3 cargo ships in the strait. Iranian media airing this video that it says shows guards boarding and seizing 2 of the vessels.
Vessel Majestic X, we intend to conduct the boarding of your vessel.
The Pentagon released this video showing U.S. forces boarding what it said was a sanctioned tanker that was carrying Iranian oil through the Indian Ocean. The White House says the military blockade is having its intended effect.
We are completely strangling their economy through this blockade. They're losing $500 million a day.
Iran says they won't engage in peace talks until the U.S. lifts the blockade. The president, though, says the maritime barrier will go until those 2 sides come to an agreement. While the administration is focused on the overseas waterway, the president and defense secretary navigating rough waters at the Pentagon. Secretary Pete Hegseth ousted Navy Secretary John Phelan Wednesday. Sources say tensions had been growing between the 2 men. The latest clash over building the president's Golden Fleet.
With this recent firing the Navy Secretary when we're at war and this president is trying to initiate a blockade, and this is largely a naval engagement at this point. So it's very disturbing.
But this is serious business.
This is not something to play games with. And I think that it weakens the morale of our men and women in the military.
Meanwhile, another sticking point in the war, the Israeli strikes on Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. But today, President Trump greeted ambassadors of the two countries at the White House who are working to extend a current ceasefire. Hezbollah is headquartered in Lebanon, but is backed by Iran and has attacked Israel for decades. Monica Alba, NBC News, the White House.
A long-awaited project is wrapping up in Accomack County. How it's going to bring relief to drivers.
And we're looking at mild conditions for us right now and tomorrow, but there's going to be a little rain in the forecast over the weekend.
But first, a lesson taking root. See how Rehoboth Beach students are celebrating Arbor Day and making their community a little greener. Up next.
Students in Rehoboth Beach are learning that even small voices can make a big impact, especially when it comes to protecting the environment. In today's Coastal Connections, Elisa Weber shows us how an Arbor Day event brought together students and city officials.
4th and 5th grade students from Rehoboth Elementary School came together to celebrate Arbor Day. Through songs and smiles, students shared why trees matter and all the ways they help us every day.
So we've been practicing in our classrooms the tree song, and they get excited over it. They love singing the songs.
Fifth grade teacher Tina Wright, who organized the event, says teaching kids to respect trees and nature can make a real difference.
We build a lot down here, so we lose a lot of trees, and trees are a really important part of our life. So that's what I want them to understand the importance of.
At Stokely Park in Rehoboth, students joined Mayor Stan Mills to read a proclamation to protect trees and keep planting more in the nation's summer capital.
So I want the students to feel like they're a part of everything and that they have a voice.
Grade level winners of the Delaware Forest Service's Arbor Day poster contest were also announced. This year's theme was Trees Are Terrific for People and Places. Rehoboth Beach made the perfect backdrop for the celebration. The city is marking its 35th year as a Tree City USA, an honor that highlights its commitment to planting and protecting trees.
We planted trees on the other side of our school last year, so we're trying to always spruce it up and keep the trees alive. So all the smaller trees around here are from our Arbor Days. So that's pretty exciting.
And this year, students added another tree, turning their words about the importance of trees into action, teaching the next generation about the need to protect trees. For Coastal Connections, I'm Elisa Weber.
The beautiful thing about today is that this was actually a warmer than usual day. It wasn't a record setter by no stretch of the imagination, but it was pretty nice, wouldn't you agree? And we're going to have a pretty nice day for tomorrow as well. And we have to talk about a little rain over the weekend. But an ocean view right now, we're holding at 62 degrees, dew point temperature of 50, winds at 7 miles per hour. We will drop to 57 as early as 8 o'clock with mainly clear skies. Looking pretty clear overall from the entire peninsula. And we're not overly windy or breezy at this point, which is actually helpful. But we have a quasi-stationary frontal boundary that's just draping across the Chesapeake Bay area. And it's giving a mixture of warm and cool air, kind of going back and forth. And we're going to kind of ping pong between that kind of feeling, even going into tomorrow, more so on the cooler side than the warmer side. Drier conditions well to our north, just north of the state for us. But right now we're holding at 58 degrees in Rehoboth. This is the cooler side. But then you have the warmer side, 81 in Redden, 80 degrees right now in Seaford, 79 in Laurel. But we have 70 degrees right now, right next to it in Delmar. So that's what that quasi-stationary frontal boundary will do to you. It's kind of wacky like that. 53 for the overnight low in Georgetown as well as Salisbury and in Princess Anne, 55 Wallops Island. We need rain. This weekend we're talking about rain. I know you're going, oh, keep it away from my plans, but we actually need the rain. I mean, we're over an inch shy for the month and for the year. We're closing in on 1 3/4 of an inch shy where we should be, and I'm going to keep monitoring that too. Now, as you take a look, we're mild for tomorrow, 77 instead of 79, but that's still pretty good, and 72, for example, in Georgetown. Now, the farther you go into the heart of the Delmarva Peninsula, it's warmer, like 79 in Vienna, but 75 expected in Cambridge. And the winds are out of the east at 9 to 18 miles per hour, as we expect 72 in Pocomoke City, as well as Berlin. Our sneezecast, it's crazy and wacky as well. Still at extreme levels for the trees, medium level for us and the grasses. So for Friday, we start off in the 50s. We turn over into we go into the 60s by mid-morning, and then we keep a close eye on a sprinkle or two going into early Saturday morning, like about 4 o'clock in the morning. A sprinkle there. It pushes across mainly in Lewis and for Rehoboth. Most other areas not so much. We have that strong flow coming out of the east, and then by Saturday evening we'll see a sprinkle develop in Ellendale and then north of Milton. And so along the coast for Friday, though, we're looking for it to stay pretty cloudy, but not necessarily rain, with the winds out of the east and the northeast. Now, think about this. Remember, we are in need of the precipitation because we're bone dry on such a period for an extended period of time. But here's our drought monitor, newly updated for today. Now we're abnormally dry throughout the entire state, and then we're at moderate drought to our south. So this is the updated drought monitor. So yeah, we are pining for some precipitation. And so we're looking for Sunday and perhaps Monday going into next week. We'll have more in the way of precipitation moving in our direction. So this wave is going to push through Saturday, Sunday morning, and then it'll pull out of the way, and another wave will hit for next week. So as we go right on up to coming to an end now. Right now we're looking at that chance of rain developing more so on Sunday with most locations along the coast. And then finally, as you take a look at the 7-day forecast, we are looking for that rain not only Sunday, but going into next week as well.
Thanks again, Paul. Detour no more. Drivers near Accomack County are finally able to take Shields Bridge Road when traveling between Belhaven and Craddockville. The $7.76 million replacement project was completed ahead of schedule, and it reopened yesterday. VDOT officials say a few factors allowed the project to wrap up early.
Challenges in any construction project when you got a lot of concrete, such as a bridge, is weather. I mean, you have to have decent temperatures to pour concrete. So weather was a factor. 2 was schedule management. So we made sure, and the contractor made sure that they progressed with the schedule on critical path or critical items.
All eyes on the NFL draft, and our Delmarva Sports Network team watching the Eagles like a hawk tonight. Kayla Santiago going to be live during the Coast TV News at 11 with up-to-date stuff on the draft.
Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 7, a live Carolina League baseball when the Shorebirds continue their series against the Wilson Warbirds. Then you can catch the final score at 10:30.
And coming up next, the Justice Department ramping up a rare legal effort that could impact hundreds in the U.S. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5. The Justice Department is moving to strip U.S. citizenship from hundreds of people. As part of a broader immigration crackdown, the DOJ officials say they've identified 384 foreign-born Americans that they want to denaturalize. Now, under federal law, citizenship can be revoked if it was obtained through fraud, such as lying on applications or hiding criminal history. The process, which requires evidence and court approval, has been rare in recent decades, but Justice Department officials say they're now pursuing the highest volume of denaturalization referrals in history. This is following a push from Homeland Security. The federal government is moving to reclassify marijuana. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche signed an order Thursday that would make it a Schedule III drug. Now, that is the same as what you would see with Tylenol, codeine, and ketamine. Right now, it's a Schedule I drug like heroin and ecstasy. Schedule I drugs are considered to have no medical use. Rescheduling marijuana would open the door to more research on its medical properties. It would also likely ease the federal tax burden on dispensaries in states where the drug is legal.
And now here's a live look outside into Dover. We have one more check on your forecast right after this.
In Milford right now, we're holding at 72 degrees actually, and dew point temperature of 50. We're going to drop back to 65 degrees by 10 o'clock with mainly clear skies, a few scattered clouds sliding through a little bit later on. Now, we do have a stationary boundary that's just dripping across the most western portions of the Delmarva Peninsula, but it's going to just basically hover and create some more cloud cover. Ralph Patterson of Bridgeville, you're our new umbrella giveaway winner, courtesy of Paul Davis, Property Restoration Experts. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away, sponsored by the law offices of Brugstead, Mandalis, and Federico. And here's a look at your 10-day forecast. 68 for the high on Friday, a little bit cooler and cloudier for Saturday. Chance of rain on Sunday. We're bracing for some more rain going into all of next week. And just a tad cooler. We will at least stay in the 60s, but we're going to stay away from 30-degree weather in the morning time.
Well, that's good. Thank you, Paul, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more of our local weather, with Paul. Download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.